Hey, hey, hey. It is I, your Wednesday morning Lord and Savior of nothing. I'm just kidding. I always kid about stuff. I don't. Okay, so how you been? Good morning or one's hour worth of good morning. I had to take it upon myself to jumpstart into this painting. Actually, I did not ever since the last live stream. I think I started on this back then. I didn't touch it. I was running around doing boring grown-up things. I was also not in the best of moods because myself and my son got sick after it was frigging, what is it? It was warm a week or two ago, and then the following week after, like, what the hell? It got cold again. Even right now, literally yesterday, it was nice. Well, not super warm, but it was like a bit warmer than today and sunny. And I took it upon myself to take some pictures. And then this morning, it started raining. So that's the luck of my life. Anyway, what I'm doing now is this rainbow snake that I had originally as a card art. And this is what I do with the card art. If I like the painting enough, I will continue onto a larger scale size. The other thing, though, is I don't know if this is a slightly different method of what I did. I would draw the entire scales all over the snake when I did it the first time, but this time I'm just gonna put colors on first, then add the line work after it dries. So I have to work on several things at the same time because I don't like waiting. I can use the elusive heat gun, but I think I stashed it somewhere and I forgot again. So what else is new for that? Announcements or updates. There will be pretty soon more shorts in regards to, well, here's a small hint. It's continue. I think it's a sequel to one of my not live stream, one of my popular shorts. That's all I'm going to say. So stick around for that later on if you, or I want to, if you haven't noticed, whoever watches this up to this point, I don't ask for, please like and subscribe. I know that is the default when you are on YouTube. Like, if you like our channel, please like and subscribe and comment to help with the algorithm and this, yeah, I know. But for some reason with me, I did that originally when I started out in YouTube, but then eventually I just kind of stopped saying that. I don't like begging. I'm not saying other people who say it are begging, but for me, when I keep saying it every time, I don't know, just something about it. It never grew on to me. But if you do say, please like and subscribe, I don't take any, I don't feel that's fine. That's actually, that's good. You should actually say, but for me, I don't know. I guess with how I sound like it or how I word things, it might come off as begging, and I don't want to come off like that. So I just show things, and if you like it, that's great. If not, a piece of me is sad, and then I'll move on. That's basically it. So no harm, no foul temporarily. And so, yes. But if you do like it and actually stick around, thank you so much. I seriously appreciate it. I need to do something for 100K, but I have no idea. It's slowly but surely No, it's pretty fast. It's pretty fast. I just need to figure out what the heck I'm going to be doing. Maybe I should come up with an actual poll this time around. Sorry, I got sick and stuff happened, so I wasn't able to be as proactive with the comments and being active with you guys. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. That's my mistake. I need to fix that at some point. I did go on the comments temporarily, maybe a night or two ago. It's the same thing. Propaganda. Oh my God. Have you seen the news nowadays? Over here in US land? Okay, if we're not riddled with propaganda, okay. Before we start spouting that out, can we look at our own media first before we start saying that about other countries? A lot of countries have propaganda. right? So calm down. But it's not really in our control to do. Like, it's there. So what? What are you gonna do about it? Gonna cry about it? So anyway, yeah, I'll figure something out with the 100K, unless I put a poll and like, I'm stumped, help me. I'm more than willing to ask for that. Oh my God, I can't. Whenever I find this paint, I don't buy it. But recently in the Target I go to, it's cleared out. Hopefully they restocked, but no promises there. Do I have another paint? Sorry, I have to get up. I really try not to get up, but I don't have glue anymore, so now I got it. That's not me, that's paint. No, I have that. Maybe these two are fine. I gotta remember to put them. Okay. So, yeah, I have paint. I just have to look at it a bit. Okay. I can do this. Hopefully this is correct. I'm trying to adhere to the reference as much as I can, but there's no promises. Plus, colors on computer look so much more vibrant and bright than with paintings, unless I'm getting the wrong paints. Or sometimes when I do, it looks like the color as I want, but then when it dries, it has usually a darker, uglier hue. And I'm like, false advertising. Anyway, I will try to figure something out. Sorry if I know sometimes the longer I talk, the more I think maybe what I say sometimes offends people, because despite how I sound, I am from the older millennial-ish generation, and I don't use those titles, that's what they say. And so I'm like, oh, I guess I have to use them. I don't really, I'm just person. That's it. I don't say millennial, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, Gen Ramalama Ding Dong. I don't have that kind of time and effort to come up with words. One of the most bizarre words I've heard of, with the trendiest of the words, I think that this one died. I heard of chuggy. Like, what the that sounds like a disease. Like, my legs are riddled with chug. Like, what the hell? I don't know. Or it sounds like upchuck. I don't know. But yeah, I don't understand these words now. And don't worry, the younger people will encounter such when their youngins have similar words. Like, oh my God, at least back then, the words kind of made sense as to what they're, but now it's like, oh, I don't know. What is this? And then they have these new abbreviations online. I'm like, oh, what are those? Now, so now when you're starting to look up Google on what some of these terms are, you are quite old now. But at the same time, hey, who else am I going to ask? I'm surrounded by old people. I'm the youngest in my generation of my family, and a lot of them are in their 50s and 40s, and 80s. So who can I ask? No one at this point. Let me see. Oh gosh, this one's I don't like this. I don't like it. It's kind of dark. It looks okay on camera, but while I'm looking at it, it's like, ugh. Okay, but gotta deal with it anyway. So what the heck can I talk about besides weather? I know that is the boring standard, but it's annoying lately. It's annoying. I don't like it, but it could be worse. It could be much worse. I need to stop complaining about such things, but I got nothing else to talk about. I did the announcements. All right. And so while I do these paintings, or I do boring grown-up things, and I can use my phone as on hand to listen to things, I listen to Reddit stories, and it can vary from cheating stories, am I the butthole, then I effed up, relationship advice, rants or whatever. I don't know. But I listen to a lot of them to the point where I can pinpoint which ones sound like they just are writing a really crappy essay in middle school / high school / first year in college. Like, they use a lot of keywords, and they sound the same. I actually have a list. That's how bored I was the other day. Let me see. Can I write it down? Did I? No, I added some today. No, yeah. Like they will say things like, for the first time in a long time, I felt at peace with myself. Like, oh my God. And then they pronounce easy words wrong. I can't remember what, if I remember it, I'll bring it up. But right now, there was just so many. I'm um, trying to forget. Now I have to remember, and I'm like, oh, what are they in it again? Um, let's see. Cheating wife's affair partners, a super rich boss at work, super slick male coworker, yoga instructor, coach from their child's basketball/football game, ex from college, ex from high school that they could never get over. It's like, yeah, like what? Okay, I guess. Open relationship with an old ex or male coworker or their neighbor next door that recently moved in and they have an unsuspecting spouse themselves. Oh, or yeah, or someone is married. I'm like, oh, okay. And then golden child, whenever they bring the word golden child, no one talks about it like that, but in these stories, they always bring up a golden child, the golden child who does everything perfect, or the golden child who still screw up, but the parents are still, what is it? They're still defending them, even if their actions are caca. Or they also use essay words like smirk, murmur, unfurled. Uh, what else is there? I wrote some down. Where are they? Shivered, trembled, darting their eyes side to side, composed, hesitated, scoffed. Like, what? Who talks like that? in real time, like who the hell, what the fuck? Like I furrowed my brows as I stared at this girl across the hallway as she gave me the finger. Like, who talks like that? That's like, ew. Something just clicked when they realized there was a moment of clarity or realization. Like I've heard that word recently too, so I was like, oh, they're trying to make something different, but like at least 3 other storytellers use that same word, clicked. Something just clicked. My world came crashing down in mere minutes. My world was turned upside down. I'm living a nightmare. Things became the I forgot the other saying, but I've listened to so many, it's like, ugh, again. Wow, I can't believe my post blew up overnight. Rest in peace, inbox, or RIP inbox. Thank you so much for your support, blah. She was beautiful, smart, and had incredible wit with a whining, with a winning, confident smile that turned heads. They always say that. They say, "Oh, I thought she was smart and the only one I ever wanted," or so I thought. They say these like foreshadowing thingies, and it's like, oh God, okay. What else? Oh no, it's raining. Okay. I'm closing this chapter in my life. I'm starting a new chapter. Anytime they use the word chapter or journey, I'm like, but usually chapter. I'm like, ugh. If I ever catch myself saying such words, I'm like, ugh. That's the sound of me cringing. Internally, there's usually no sound, but then if it's so unnerving that a voice comes out, that is the sound. Ugh. Oh, okay. And so, what else can I talk about? Do I have a proper purple? Ugh, this one's, no. I had purple. Why do I have socks here? What the hell? Brown. I have all these paints, and then I have a hard time trying to find some. Some of it's up here too. So yeah, I've watched too many of these or listened to these dang stories while I'm cooking, while I'm doing laundry, while I'm cleaning, while sometimes when I go drop off my kid, I will listen to them because I got nothing else to listen to. Like I haven't watched TV seriously in years. And so I end up just watching YouTube or listening to podcasts and stuff, or I just do this, I'm painting. And then all those stories, like, and then some of them, they repeat the stories, or like, I hear at least 3 or 4 YouTubers who read Reddit stories say the same dang story. Sorry, I can't talk. But yes, and it's usually a very popular "Am I the Butthole" story or relationship problem story, bridezilla story, this and that. And I don't mind listening it the first time around, but when I hear it again, I usually just click away or try to find something else. The other option to avoid this is to actually go on Reddit, like either the app or the website, and just read. They have a whole bunch always updating every day. But sometimes, I don't know, it does get kind of boring after a while. So I also, I used to have Reddit, fun fact, but I sometimes they get kind of stuck up there, like, I know all the ways of the internet. Like, oh my God, shut up. And so it just seems rather elitist sometimes. And then, but if it's for random information that you're asking, sometimes they have it on Reddit. So it's still useful, but I just not useful enough for me to keep the app. So I think, yeah, eventually I deleted mine. Oh no, it's raining harder today and I have to go out in that. Great. But it's off and on. They said 18%, not 81%. But well. Let's see, what else do I got? What else can I talk about that isn't about stupid Reddit stories? Any good things on Reddit that I have found? Well, I think before there was an option to, like, you can try to make friends on Reddit, but sometimes they write a lot and I can't, be annoying about that because I also write a lot sometimes if I get excited of meeting new people. But sometimes when I find out they write more than me, and then sometimes, yeah. It was not. I'm not good at typing as much. Only some like small increments, but not like for the rest of my days. Maybe like 25-ish years. I'm down for like long text and stuff. But sometimes, I mean, recent years, like now, I can only afford to do 1 or 2 days tops. I can't do that for the rest of my days. Okay. I got stuff to do. Anyway, but yeah, if you want to try to make friends, well, that's the other thing. You're not sure who the other person really is on the other side, even though we try to be defensive about making friends online. They're not bad. I made friends online a lot, but you also have to kind of be careful and have some key points or guidelines in your mind to remind you. Also, it comes with experience, unfortunately, like who's a good person and who is, and you also have to be careful because sometimes with online, people get a little bit jittery about certain things, and if they get rejected, oh my God, there's too many stories about that recently, and it freaks me out. Okay, so we got a nice blend going on. That's good, but I want this lighter. Do I have a lighter version? Because this area is kind of too dark for me. All right. Oh, speaking of painting and stuff, I mentioned a while ago that oh no, is this paint dry? Oh shit, I gotta throw it out. No, there's still some in, oh, well, it is this brand. It's not the best. Well, no, it lasts pretty long, just not this time. I had to throw it away now. Unless I add water, I don't know. I'll think about it, because right now I'm like not in the mood to. I have another one. Okay, so like I mentioned, sorry, I got distracted. I was checking the comments recently, and then I did. It is a rare time when someone actually comments on my art shorts. I don't make art videos. This is the only art video I'm able to do because I actually like it. But this one comment in particular mentioned, like, oh, this is really nice. I was hoping more for like the entire process. Okay, so I appreciate the comment. I also thank the commenter. I forgot if I mentioned my reasons why I avoided it, but maybe I just mentioned very roughly that I have stuff to do and I don't have enough time to make those kinds of videos. That's a yes and a no. For starters, yes, I don't have that kind of time. Like, there's a lot of testimonies about people who with their YouTube process and making and editing these videos where they can last between 7 hours to 16 hours to almost 24, 25 hours. And whether or not they're proud of that achievement, if that is an achievement, I don't know. Okay, I honestly don't know. I've avoided making videos, legit videos, like the plague, because while I lack the time, I also don't like it. I've already said it several times. I don't like video editing. I don't give a shit. I am not, at most, if it's something that's like inside joke, family related, and I'm making fun and having fun, and I just take the piss, it's not that bad. But when it's like this kind of stuff, I'm not very motivated. I don't like it. I tried before. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I never tried. Like, oh, you can't knock it till you try. Yes, I tried it several years ago. I hated it. I was so bored out of my mind. It bored me to tears. And then I did post at least no. I think 2 tutorials or 3. And then the rest was like a show and tell sort of thing. The show and tell was at least doable, but in the end, I didn't like the overall experience of having to hear the same dang video clips over and over again, having to splice together and piece together, and I don't like it. Okay, if you want to make your own videos, by all means, go ahead, but I don't like it. And then, as I mentioned before, like, yeah, I got other things to do, and so the only thing I tried before with the entire process of doing the art is a speed run where I record everything and then just speed it up. A lot of artists do that. I admire them for that. Okay, I don't look down on that. Like, I wish I had the patience to do that. Excuse me, but I don't. The other thing is I don't record the entire process because, okay, if it were me to record the entire process, especially when my family is home, it's next to impossible. Okay, or you could say right now, like, you got no one around you bothering you. Why can't you? Like, because I like live streams more. I also have to do things at home. Like, I'm not at the home all the time. I'm always out doing errands, or I'm taking care of family things. I'm running around doing other errands, and by the time I get home, I have to pick up my kid, and then I have to make dinner afterwards, or I have to help him with his homework. Can you see why I can't really, like, if they have support helping them with the other things and they can do a live, like a YouTube, like, that's great. I applaud you, but I don't have that kind of luxury. So I have to take care of things while I'm doing this. And then you want me to do like a freaking video. Plus, I did try the speed run 2 or 3 times, and I'm always bothered. I always have to help someone. I always have to take care of things. I have to use a bathroom. I have to make dinner. I have to. And so it's kind of disjointed when I have to go back and forth. And I already deal with a lot when I'm not recording. But if I have to go back and forth with my art stuff, helping someone in my family, and then I have to record as well, and sometimes I forget to press the record button. So I get especially mad when I miss a part that is, I don't know about crucial, but it kind of messes up the flow of the video. You get what I'm saying? So those are my reasons. I know it sounds like excuses for people who don't know any better. I'll give you a pass for that. But for the most part, it's not a fun time for me. It's very stressful. And some people's like, oh, welcome to life, where you have like, yeah. But stress also makes you freaking sick. Okay. So, and I'm not exactly a spring chicken either. So I'm trying to manage this with this, but also trying to not encroach into, okay, this is I don't like this anymore. I don't want to do this kind of project. I want to quit. I don't want to get to that kind of mindset. So I do what I can to the things that I not just tolerate, but actually like doing. And what I actually do like doing are live streams and making shorts, because shorts crack me up. They make me laugh. And I do actually have a fun time doing them, at least, as well. Well, I more so like reels than shorts. Sorry, YouTube. Okay. But I like doing that on Instagram more than YouTube. So take it or leave it. But I don't mind doing a trial run if I do get enough of a demand for the supposed speedrun art process. If like more than 2 people ask for it. To lower the bar so low for such a request. But hey, man, I read enough of the of my statistics to know what is popular in my channel versus what is not. And my art is amongst the lowest of the low. All right, I admit it. It sucks, but I can admit it. But if there is at least 2 or more people wanting to do a speed, holy shit! Give me a second. I heard something fall down. Oh. I don't know. What the heck? Oh. Okay. There was like an old little kid slide outside. I think the wind was a gust of wind just blew it over and it ripped it to almost ripped in half. So all right. Fun. So sorry if my reasons sound like excuses, especially those who don't know any better about like parenting and taking care of family and doing things in the household. But I'm not a single person. I got things to do. And if you're going to like debate with me, like, well, there are some people who have relationships and families and they still get their stuff done. Well, yeah, maybe they have the support. Okay. I'm not that lucky. Okay. I have to do what I can by myself and I'm not very smart. So I try not to overcompensate when I'm doing what I can. And I also want to have fun when I'm doing this because I don't want to do this and then I'm not having fun. This feels more like drudgery. It's like, oh, I gotta do this, or I'm just slapping things together and throwing it out into the void in hopes of, appeasing the algorithm and the audience. I don't want to have that mindset. I want to do this because I want to, and hopefully some of you guys do too. And yeah, that's my main reason. Otherwise, if I just do this art stuff, not show it online, it just gets stuck in the closet eventually, or they're just put away somewhere. No one gets to see it. So I at least want to share before I put it away, And at least I had the opportunity to do so. Not like 30-ish years ago when the internet was only accessible to the rich and whatevers, or the geeky. And then, yeah, I have the opportunity to do this now. So I'm thankful for that. Just, it's a lot of work. It's like easier said than done, man. But again, just because I said all those things and I admitted I don't like doing video editing and this and that, and at most I can do a speed run. At the very least, if there's at least 2 or more people wanting to see me do a entire process of my art stuff, let me know in the comments, in this live chat. Please be nice, okay? And also, or even on Instagram as a DM. And then, yeah, that's fine. I'll take it seriously. Right now, I only heard 1 person. If I hear another person and maybe another person, then I will confirm that, okay, I'll try it, Sheesh. Okay, I'll fine. Okay, I cry uncle, I'll do it. And the whole crying uncle and that level of pressure, I don't mind because that's what got me started to doing talking videos on Instagram in the first place. Originally, I did not, the idea of me going on YouTube and going on doing a talking video, either with my hands or my actual face, I thought that was ew. I did not, it did not appeal to me. But when I was doing art stuff, I noticed I was getting a bit more bored and I was like, I gotta do something else. This is not enough for me. Let's try something new. And this is what happened. It started from YouTube, Instagram, talking videos, either like this, or I actually show myself talking for like 5 to 13 minutes. And then people liked it, but it was mostly my friends. So it's not like total strangers, I think. And so I kept doing it. And then eventually the algorithm on Instagram was not very good. So I ended up, what did I do? I ended up, I hate saying the word transition. I ended up switching over to here on YouTube because I remembered my old YouTube channel where I did those tutorials I mentioned, right? And I was like, well, I'm not doing anything there. I might as well go here. And so I did that as well as other things because I feel like I can do a bit more experimenting of my content on here. So that's why you see a whole bunch of weird things that have nothing to do with art, which I think is funny because I like doing different things that surprise people. And so it's kind of interesting. And while it sounds like I have little to no knowledge about the Korean War, I actually went to the site where it happened. Not like I took a time machine, flew back to the 1950s, and I participated. No, who said that? I went there. I went to that area in Dandong City where it occurred, and they have a museum dedicated to the war. And while you cry, propaganda, it's not. Oh, hey, man, you have your propaganda. They have their own. Deal with it, okay? So I went to that actual museum. It's mostly in Chinese from what I can remember. But yeah, they had a lot of things, proof that the US came and was quite aggressive with their retaliation and attacks and this and that, okay? But they also have some things in China that were quite clever as well. So you got to admire the ingenuity to war, whether you like it or not. Yes, I don't like war either, but a lot of people got quite creative with what they had to do to win, and it's pretty insane. So there is that. Yeah, it was actually my date. One of my date trips to a museum of war. Yeah. So while it seems like I don't know what I'm posting, it doesn't mean I have no experience, at least with, I've been to those places. And that bridge that they blew up, yep, it's still there, still broken. Yeah, I know, right? And it's funny because in my history books, I didn't really learn about the 1950s war. Only that, okay, it happened. Let's move on. That was it. I didn't hear anything else. Not even in, like middle school history. Not even in high school history. Not even in college history. It's like a tiny blip, and that's it. They move on to something else. So for I'm not entirely blaming Americans, especially denying that this war ever happened, because we barely ever hear about it. Like it's called the Forgotten War for a reason, multitude of reasons rather. And so it's good to have a discussion about this stuff, but to also realize like a lot of mistakes and a lot of crappy ass things happened, not just that war, but in wars in general. It's like, why do we keep having them? They're so stupid. And it's super expensive. It takes so much out of the other countries dealing with it. Okay. And so, but people don't like peace. Ultimately, they don't like peace. Like leave it to some people with power and money to start causing trouble and throwing people in there. And I'm just so tired. Maybe I'm not a big fan of war or lack the knowledge of the war, but I do know that it's like there are no winners. Okay. That just makes me tired. And that's why I don't like talking about it. It just makes me kind of sad. As you get older, things don't make you angry. They just make you more sad. There was someone in my old college. I think I talked to him a little bit. And then I think there was some kind of event that made him sad. And I was like, you're not angry about this? It's like, no, as you get older, it just feels more sad and disappointing rather than making you just feel angry. And I'm like, I never really understood that until as I got older as well. Because yeah, he was definitely older than me. But yeah, like a lot of things just feel very sad now. Like the declining birth rates throughout several countries, not just here, several countries, and why it is what it is. Like no one wants, especially women are rejecting marriage and even relationships because of, fearing for their safety and stuff. But sometimes men also have to deal with the whole brunt of the whole things, and they feel as though if they talk about their feelings and being vulnerable, they'll be made fun of, they'll be criticized, they'll be laughed at in social media where, and then they're told again, be a man. I was like, and then what? I thought you wanted them to express their emotions. So expressing their emotions means they're not a man. Like, I don't understand how people say, like, pick one. Oh my God. So, like men have their battles too. Women have their battles too. let's work together and figure something out. But with the media and people's personal experiences that were for the worst, I'm sorry for that. I'm not disregarding that as well. They're legitimate, most of them anyway. It just feels sad that we can't come together and figure out solutions without ripping each other's heads off about tiny petty ass things. It's like, what the fuck? Sorry, I'm like always ranting it, but it's like a lot of things going on in the news, not just news, but also on social media. And it makes me tired and sleepy and also sad, but also like, again, my God. And then, no, I don't want to get onto the protest. I heard about protests too. It's like, okay. I try not to talk too much about other things, just things that I at least have some kind of knowledge about, but I'm not saying like, oh, I have to do thorough research. Like, it's okay to talk about such things without having to know a Wikipedia level of information, okay? It's fine to talk about it, but if you don't know about it, like I'll come back to you on that before I confirm. And then there's a few instances where, oh, I was wrong, and that's okay to admit that. You don't have to vilify a person for a lot of wrong. It depends on the context of said wrong thing. But if it's like, oops, it's my mistake, I can fix it. That's fine. That's fine. I don't know. Nowadays, a lot of things it feels so sensitive now to even bring up without someone crying outrage over something so tiny and minuscule. Of course, there's legitimate ones. There are, but they tend to get overshadowed by the tiniest of the tiniest unnecessary things. And I'm tired. Okay, let's see. Okay, this isn't bad. Now I have to let it dry because I have to draw on it again. While I could draw on it with a pencil, I'll have to use like a black marker of some kind. So I have to let this dry. So go over yonder. Ugh. Okay. Is there anything? Oh, right. I did show cards. Maybe I could resume one of the card arts. Oh, actually, this one is the easiest thing to finish. That's good. I need something small and easy to start with. Sometimes there are some meme animals that I was like, oh, those are kind of cute. I mean, yeah, the weight is not very good, but I still think it's cute. And that's it. That's all I had to do. Or maybe I'll add a little lighting on the nose, and then that's it. I'll leave it alone. That's it. Yay! That is it. At most, I have to clean some things here, but do I have a pen? Do I have pen? That is not annoying. Oh, wait. I have a big bag of pen here. What am I talking about? Oh, I can use this for my pink arts. Good. Okay, I got stuff now. Oh, and I found my pink pen. I was looking for this stupid thing. Oh my God. Because I have lots of pens in several different bags. Okay, let's just do this one. All right. Yeah, I am also slowly but surely trying to take a break from internet. I'm not as engaging as before. I kind of feel bad for that, but it's not like everyone has lives. What's there to engage with? So I try not to bother people as much, but then I still look online, but at most I try not to be too active, especially on Instagram and YouTube as much in terms of like doom scrolling on the reels and shorts, because my God, it's so easy to just be swallowed up by all of that content and then several hours pass. It's so easy. So I try to not do as much on there. But also with other people, I'm trying not to be too talkative because it depends. I don't mind talking some here and there, but I have to like take care of my own things too. So that's what I'm trying to do these days. I'm not. I know they keep saying, "Oh, you have to shut off the internet, touch grass, and see blah blah blah." I'm like, shut up. Like the internet is a part of our livelihoods now. At this point, it's almost impossible to like. If you really want to get rid of the internet, just don't buy cell phones. Don't buy. I mean, use your landline. Good luck with that. And then use CD players. Use Walkmans. I literally saw like maybe last year or a year or two ago, like a girl, she looked like late teens, early 20s, using a Walkman. And I was like, just use your phone. There's too much struggle with the Walkman, especially if you use cassette tapes. I don't miss cassette tapes. I don't miss when I try to record my favorite songs that are being played on the radio with those blank tapes you get, and then the tape recorder eats up my tape and I have to fix it with tape somehow and wind it, and hopefully the song still sounds good, or at least it got crappy on a crappy song I don't care about. But 9 out of 10 times it always got crappy on one of the songs that I liked, that I recorded, and I hated it. So I don't miss certain technologies from back in the day. People keep saying, see, this is where I'm also, again, the minority of such things, where I do miss some aspects of the 90s and 80s, like the bright colors and this and that, and creativity, and a lot less censorship, which is funny because there was still censorship a lot back then. Especially like shows like Married with Children and Living Color, the Wayans brothers, Happily Ever After. Happily Ever After, I think that show was. I forgot. There was a talking stuffed bunny. I don't remember, but yeah, I liked those shows a lot. They were a lot of fun. Did I mention In Living Color? I think so. And also the WB and UPN, I think it was called before. It was called CW, and they were a lot of fun to watch. I miss those shows. I don't expect people to have I don't want them to revamp or have a continuing, like they bring back the show. I don't want that. Just let me enjoy that time period without seeing them again, and they're super old, and some of them are missing because they passed away. Like I'm sorry about that, but like we don't have to see that. We just enjoy what they did during their heyday. That's totally fine. But there are people still wanting In Living Color, and a lot of people in The Living Color were like, we can't do what we did back then. Back then, we got away with so much stuff, but nowadays, we can get canceled after 2 episodes at most. So I understand their plight. Like, what they managed to get away with back then, they won't be able to do it right now. And it's so sad. Like, lighten up. Even sometimes when I see people making jokes about race or blah, 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 whatever, they say, that's not funny at all. That's serious. I'm like, geez, man, calm down. Oh, I think it depends on what the joke is. And I can understand, okay, yeah, that's a bit too much. But there's sometimes like, that's so funny. But nowadays, people are they have their head so far up their ass. Like, calm down, it's a joke. Okay, so yay, I finished one officially. What else can I do? Oh, right, I said I was going to do this one. And I did brown line art, but I don't like it, so I might have to. Oh, no. Is it scraping? Probably. Okay, yeah, this is the kind I need. Because I needed a dark pink, and I was struggling with my other ones. But good thing this has that. Yeah, I want to have... The internet now doesn't feel as fun as back then. I mean, was more exciting when I was younger, I remembered. Of course, there was a lot of those, creepity creepos that started the show To Catch a Predator. Yeah, they always had that. But for the most part, I'm not going to lie, I encountered such people, but I think I was not that young. I think when I started using internet, like AOL, Ew. And Yahoo, I think I was about 16 years old. And there were a few creepos, but I did not understand because my family was very new to the internet as well. So I was managing to figure things out on my own. But then when you find those people wanting to do things, later on I found out they wanted to cyber you. And so I was like, oh, and I was 16 at the time. So I was like, what's that? And then when they start describing what, I was like, oh, okay, no, thank you. And then you just leave. Oh my God. And I think it also depends on the upbringing of the person. Like if they told you, okay, don't do that or blah blah blah, you had some level of threats, then it's like, okay, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want them to find out and all that stuff, but I also don't want to get in trouble. You just take it upon yourself to just get away from that stuff. But for some reason, there's like a bunch of kids that want to, but yeah, there's different kids with different backgrounds. And so some of them may not be in a good place and they take it upon themselves to um, want to vent to some complete stranger because they feel like, oh, you don't know me. What do you know? And then they manage to confide and console and, find some level of comfort in these complete strangers. But then later on, turns out they're grooming them. Oh my God. Like, what was that organization with To Catch a Predator? I'm not sure if they still have that website on now. I don't want to look. That's gross. Not in that manner, just like the conversations, these grown men and some women as I don't know if they have women too, but they did mention there was women, but the majority was men. But anyway, like the perverted justice, they put all of their records of their chats on their website, and there's public access at the time. I don't know about now, but there was public access to reading what these men said to these decoy age kids ages 12 to 14, 15 years old. It's really disgusting and very manipulative as balls. My God. So I could not watch that too much. I mean, read that too much, especially now that I have a kid. Like, oh, you can't say, oh, only girls get victim. Like, no, boys as well. Shoot. It's, jeez. So I really try my best not to look at that stuff and feeling I will probably be a lot more stressed out if I look at that stuff too much. So, but I at least have the awareness that we have to be careful with our kids when they are interacting online. You can't be hovering over them, don't get me wrong, but you also have to talk them through the internet stuff or be nearby them at most times to make sure they're not entering somewhere nefarious and gross and stuff, because it's so easy to do that nowadays. And even if they have like, oh, click here if you are 18 and older, the kids can just click I am older and just go on. Or they know enough math to put the year and fake birthday to join what seedy old site. So yeah, it's really scary now. But at the same time, welcome to life. We got to do what we can to navigate and make sure we don't do too much or get in trouble or what have you. My God. It's so, ugh. It seemed a lot more fun back then, even if there were those creepos. But nowadays, like, there's so many apps and dating sites, and I don't think they have chat rooms anymore, but that's not to say that they don't exist. I'm pretty sure they still have some element of chat, but they do like a live stream or some Twitch equivalent of some kind. Or I remember back then they had something like chat roulette. Ugh, yeah, I think my husband and older brother tried it just to see what happens, but I think it didn't really work out, so they stopped using it. But I was like, I heard stories about chat roulette, and that stuff freaks me out. And I never used it, thankfully. But I've heard scary stories about that stuff. Ew. I need to talk about more positive things, but I don't. Doesn't feel very positive nowadays, especially with everything going crazy with all over the world and stuff. Like, you want to be informed, but there is such a thing as over information, like too much information. And sometimes it's okay to not know everything. Because sometimes when you know too much of things, it's like, oh my I'm so tired. When they say ignorance is bliss, they were not kidding as hell. Like, I kind of miss not knowing all the things that I know now. But not all of it was internet based. There were some things I learned as when I used to live abroad. Some things while I do like the knowledge of, okay, so what they said in the US about what country, it's totally not true, or it's super inaccurate, it's super old and backwards. But at the same time, there are some things I learned about traveling abroad that I kind of take it back. I don't want it. I don't want it. But I can't talk about such stories just because you're gonna get upset. Very, very upset. So I try, let's just say I know things. Anyway. Maybe I can color this. Oh, 50 minutes. Okay. So this is what I have so far. It's not the pink I wanted, but I have to settle for this. I think I have to color this area here to hide the pencil art. Yeah, I hide my mistakes left and right, and that's okay. That's okay. As long as you don't see it, it's fine. Okay, let me see if I can put some pink. Maybe this. Oh, no, not this. Gosh. Oh, maybe this one. Oh, I forgot to mention another reason why I can't really do the speed run or actual videos. I forgot to mention my camera is super wonky. It crashes. I think I mentioned before, but I didn't mention extensively how irritating it is to work with such crappy equipment in that aspect. Like, I will try to just press record and my camera 40 to 50% of the time just acts kind of wonky. It just freezes and then continues, freezes, and then it crashes. And this happens on more than one occasion and almost on a daily basis. So that's another reason why I don't like doing the videos through my camera. I could use this one here, the camera I'm using for here. The only other thing is, I'm not very familiar with it. I have to kind of tweak things out. I mean, practice and experiment with this before I get comfortable with actually doing legit videos. I think I tried once last year, but then when I found so many mistakes or things I cut off, there was just so many things to cut off. I didn't like the experience. I didn't like dealing with it. So I was like, screw it. I quit. So I didn't do that. So, yeah, I know it sounds like, oh, you're just making excuses. And I am. I don't give a shit. Yes, I am. But I don't like the experience overall. That's my main reason. I don't like doing it. But like I mentioned, if there is a slight demand, and by slight, I mean at least 2 people, not 20, not 200, just 2 or more people, I'm more than willing to try to at least work with this freaking camera right here. If the one that I have here is, it decides to work. I also have to clear out my phone. I have a whole bunch of stock images. It's not even funny. Okay, I will go back to the other one in a bit. I want to do the easier things. This one's going to take a while too. I don't like ranting about things that I see online. It's like really annoying. There's other things to talk about. I could talk about art things, but like I mentioned before, I'm not very good at talking about art things. It doesn't interest me. Like, doing it actually is one thing, but actually talking about it, it's not for me. Plus, I don't sound pretentious, and I don't want to sound pretentious and stuck up about certain things, because sometimes when people talk about art things, I'm like, oh my God. Do you really hear yourself before you open your mouth? But not all artists are like that, don't get me wrong. Just sometimes, I don't know, maybe I have bad luck in encountering the pretentious stuck up ones, not the normal ones that actually sound like they enjoy what they do. But I don't have that kind of luxury of meeting such people. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, Black Myth Wukong news. I managed to do 2 more gauntlet challenges. I think I did about 6 or 7, but I think the one that starts off with the wandering white, right? Whatever. That one's difficult. You would think someone from chapter 1 will not knock you down. Oh my god, he knocked me down several times. Even when I was like, okay, I'm serious this time. Nope, I still lost. But I did finish enough that I got all of the, what is it? The relics. Like each of them have 3 features, and I got 6 relics. So what are they? 6 times 3, 18. I managed to get all of the relics, but at the same time, like, do I want to play it all over again? So I'm just settling for the challenges right now, or if there's anything that I totally forgot to get from my last run, and then that's it. I don't know whether or not I want to play another game or just wait for the next installation for Black Myth Wukong, like the continuation or sequel or what have you, because I really like this game enough to want to wait for the next one. I don't know if I'm going to try other games because I don't like a lot of the games that I see. Like, how many times do I have to see more big-breasted ladies trying to fight? Like, oh my god. I'm not the demographic they're aiming towards. Okay, I know that enough, but I don't know. I just don't see that much interest in a lot of the games that I see being released. So I'm not. Even before that, I'm not really. Even if I play a lot of Black Myth Wukong, I still don't consider myself a gamer. I just really like the game enough to want to try it. But like the other games afterwards, I might just play old games like what my brother does, because I actually enjoy them, not like the ones I see now. Or they get really no, I did play one game that was super fancy, not fancy, but like they had celebrity faces molded into their model, the character models. I think it's called Until Dawn. It didn't feel like a game. It looks great. The graphics are incredible. The character voices sounded really good, but I didn't like the characters. They all sound like jerks or super nerd. Like there's too many extremes. There's not like someone even likable. I didn't like any of them. So when they died, I didn't feel bad. I think when you make a character likable, I think that is more of an impact. But that's just me saying, okay, like if they like this like a character that you grew attached to, then suddenly they were one of the victims. Then I was like, oh shoot. I guess when the developers were trying to come up with characters, they didn't want the player to be too attached to them, so they made them kind of jerk-like and annoying. So I was like, okay. I think that was the classic trope for horror movies in general, where they make the kids like they're not like a devout insert religion here, and they do all these things and partying and questionable things and drinking and this and that, and then the killer shows up and yeah. Okay, so that's almost done. I just have to wait for some areas to dry. Very, very mudang. I'm sorry. See, I'm used to saying it the Chinese way. I'm sorry. I still have to do this one, but I'm debating whether or not I fill in those little white gaps here, and then the eye still needs some kind of work. Maybe a little light shiny things, and then that's it. Anything else I could talk about? Oh, okay. I think I could talk about one thing. I think sometime last week there was a lady who tried to message me online on Instagram, not on YouTube. And then she said, "Oh, I saw your work and I really like it. Keep it up." And I was like, "Okay, thank you." And I tried to say some things. I forgot what I said because I deleted the message. But she was looking through my content and picked one video and took a snapshot of it. And then she sent it to me saying, like, "I notice your views are quite low in this video in particular, and if you do certain things and blah blah blah, I can guarantee that your views and ratings and blah 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 will skyrocket or increase significantly." And I think she's trying to sell me some sort of shitty ass program to garner more views, likes, comments. And that sounds like, oh, she's genuinely wants to help me out. Problem is, I don't know this person. Okay. So now if I don't know you and you offer me help, I have to question, why do you want to help me? What do you gain from this? I don't ask this directly from a person, however, okay? Because I don't know you especially, I don't feel the need to want to go further than that. Just already in my head, I am full of suspicion. Why do you, a complete stranger, with your, and she has a lot of followers and videos on tips and tricks on how to increase your views and presence online and blah blah blah. Yeah, and something called, I don't want to say specifics, but yeah, she said she was something title, and I basically refused her offer. I basically said, "Oh, thank you for the advice, but I'm not looking into that right now." Or I'm not interested in that sort of thing. And then I just deleted her messages. And then that's it. She hasn't responded to me since. And I think she realized I'm not going to tolerate whatever the heck she's going to tell me. Because, hey, don't get me wrong. I don't mind help. I don't mind seeking advice for people who are more successful than me in terms of social media. But I rather pick people that I actually know and people who they have the receipts, quote unquote, and they have proof and consistency of their content when they put it on social media, and I know them for a time, trustworthy enough to want to confide to them, like, "Hey, I want to know, how do you get your stuff and this and that." But a lot of the things I found out, they don't do things only on social media. They do this outside of their house. They go to swap meets, they go to conventions, they get booths, they know people, they network when they go to these conventions. So it's not like I don't know these things or don't have the money. It's just I can't afford to do that right now in terms of my health, because I don't have the best of health. But I just like to show my work to the public, and if you like it, that's great. If not, there's other people. Okay, that's totally fine. Sad, but totally fine. But yeah, this is what I can afford to do for the time being until something happens and I get a little bit more help. But I do like doing this as a hobby because it's fun and it cracks me up and I have a good time doing them. And I have easier, cheaper wall art to hang rather than going to Target or whatever place and having to buy a canvas painting for like $25, $60, Oh my God, I gotta go over here. Did this dry yet? Not enough. Because if I'm not careful and I start drawing on here again, I might scratch off the paint. Do I have a kind of, I thought I had a marker pen of some kind. I could use that. That's what I used last time. Okay, it's buried by my scissors. I'll draw a little bit of the scales and then I will recap on what the heck I talked about and sign off for the day. I don't know if I'm going to play Black Myth Wukong. Nah, I don't feel like it. I have to take care of some things and try to cook dinner early. Oh my God, yesterday was kind of annoying. Okay, so oh no, it's kind of damp here. Shoot. But this one should be kind of okay. And even if this is not correct, I still have a grace period to paint over the line or redraw it over and then do again. So this is what I do like about acrylic paints. I have a lot more leeway than just doing pen and paper. So even if I do screw up, I can hide my mistakes or have a do-over. So this is the closest undo button in real life that I can afford to do. And then there's nothing wrong with that. If someone gives you problems, that's their own. They need to get that checked. So anyway, What else can I talk about? I need more positive things. I don't like talking about that internet stuff. It drives me nuts. Seems like I notice every time I talk about internet things, it doesn't feel very happy. It's like, oh, that again. I don't know if anyone was old enough to remember this. Does anyone remember a thing called web TV? I think that was one of the first promos to use your internet. I mean, use your TV like a PC for the internet. And then they have it on YouTube, funny enough. Like, you look up web TV and they have like a whole bunch of old recordings of what it was like using web TV. And I don't remember a lot of it, but I'm pretty sure my older siblings know and my second older brother knows. Much older siblings than my second older brother. And so I saw some of them maybe last year. Maybe I'll look at it again. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so old. I don't sound old until I make references to some things in the past. And it's like, what? You're that old? Yes, unfortunately. And so when I see those old things, especially online, and it's like, dang, man, what the hell? But it's very nostalgic, but at the same time, it's like, sheesh, that was such a long time ago already. I didn't notice. I blinked and I'm already middle-aged. That's how bad it feels sometimes. But yeah, web TV, I didn't really use it too much because I had no idea how to use it properly. It does come with its own keyboard and you have to sign. I think they had like some kind of dial-up feature to use to sign into the internet. And then it was mostly me, my older sister, and two older brothers just laughing and clowning around. I think they were looking also at dating, not for them, but like they encountered it on a whim, like dating websites on web TV. And yeah, I was like, whoa, okay. And that was interesting. So yeah, that was kind of funny to see, like, things you can see on the computer on your TV screen. And we had a big screen TV back then because my dad, he liked fancy things. And so we would see everything on such a large screen, and it was quite overwhelming and cool at the same time. Oh no, I think I messed up. But they have like this catchy screensaver song, and while you're waiting to connect, and then when you sign in, I don't know if there was like a email feature. I don't remember, but it didn't last very long because eventually we stopped using it all of a sudden. I don't know. Maybe it was just a free trial run and then you have to pay. And then I think someone did not want to pay. Then eventually we got AOL, and turns out it was from those free trial CDs. Oh my God, I got in trouble trying to use that when I was younger. I feel bad. But yeah, it was so, when AOL was there, it was the thing back then. And I did make a handful of friends back then, but I lost, I think, almost all of the friends I knew. I used to know at least 2 people online from AOL back then. I don't talk to them anymore, unfortunately. That's sad. But yeah, it was quite interesting to use AOL. And at the same time, yeah, I remember that whole "you got mail" crap. That was like their gimmick. And then AIM and all that stuff. I didn't use AIM. I just used whatever was part of the AOL features. And they also had like their own chat stuff. Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know if I should talk about it, my experiences using online stuff, because it's I'm trying to look at some. Oh, okay, I see. I think I messed up. I messed up again. So this is going to take a long time, as you can see. But it's okay. I'll live. It's already 1 hour and 9 minutes. I'm going to wrap things up for now. So what did I do today? I did this. I have card. Oh, wait. Where's my hippo? Where's my hippo? Oh, here we go. I only did 2 cards, but they were the easiest to deal with. So I also did this poor Chub and Mudang, and then went back to this and started painting. I was ranting a bit about the weather and why I avoided doing actual videos versus real shorts and live streams. There's also like, but that doesn't mean there's no way of me not trying it if there's at least a demand of 2 people that want me to make an entire duration of my process. It's going to take a long time though, because I'm always having to do things around the house, okay? Or errands and crap. So just bear that in mind if you want that. But if there's at least 2 people, I'm more than willing to try. It'll just take me a while. There's also possible upcoming features for my channel with popular shorts. There's an update, let's just say. Black Myth Wukong, I am basically done just doing challenges and catching up on things that I might have missed. Because even the 3rd time around, I missed a few things still. Like, I didn't know. Let's see. And then Reddit stories where I've watched so many or listened to so many that I can find key terms or key themes that it's basically a bot or they're writing a really crappy essay. So not all of them are like that. There are genuine Reddit stories out there, but for the most part, when you start hearing those keywords repeated over and over and over again, it's like, okay, that's not a real story at this point. So yeah, I think that'll be it for now. I'm gonna go before someone pops on in and wonders, hey, what's going on? I'm here. I'm sorry, but yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for 95K. I'll try to think of something on what to do to celebrate if it does get any further. I don't know yet. I don't want to keep my hopes up, but I also need to prepare in case it does get to that point. So this is Delion signing on out, going on with the rest of her rainy, windy day. Thank you again for watching, especially if you watched all the way or some part that is longer than 2 seconds. And I'll see you next week unless further notice something happens. And yeah, thank you and take care now. Have a great one. Bye.